You're still renting? My mom asked at 7:42 p.m. on Christmas night, her voice carrying across the dining room like it had been rehearsed. Your sister bought a house, 3 bedrooms, granite countertops. She raised her glass slightly. When are you going to settle down? 23 people at the table, prime rib steaming, my name hanging in the air like a deficiency. It took her 8 seconds to turn my housing situation into a character flaw. I dabbed my mouth with a napkin and said, "Okay." That's all. What they didn't know was that my silence wasn't embarrassment. It was timing. Because 72 hours earlier, on December 22nd at 3:16 p.m., I signed something that made that entire conversation irrelevant. I just needed her to finish. My sister leaned back in her chair, smiling like she'd just won something. She closed in November, my mom continued. $612,000. Can you imagine? At her age, I'm 30, financially stable, no debt, 6-figure income. But in this family, optics matter more than math. My cousin pulled out his phone. "Show her the kitchen," he told my sister. And just like that, Zillow photos were being passed around like baby pictures. Purchase price, $612,000. Down payment, $80,000. Gift from family. I kept my face neutral, because I recognized that number. At 9:03 p.m., while dessert was being plated, I felt my phone buzz. The family group chat had been renamed. From Christmas 2025 to Homeowners Club. I hadn't been removed, which made it worse. They wanted me to see it. My sister sent, "Hard work pays off." My mom replied, "Proud of you for doing things the right way." The right way. I opened my banking app under the table. December 2019, $12,000. March 2020, $8,500. August 2021, $15,000. January 2023, $10,000. September 2024, $20,500. MISC transfers, $14,000. Total, $80,000. Every transfer labeled temporary help, every one from my account, every one promised back after closing. I never chased it, because I didn't think I had to. If you're watching this and you've ever been the dependable one, the quiet lender, the emergency contact, the fallback plan, comment your city and local time below. I want to know how many of us learned responsibility before recognition. And if you've ever smiled through public comparison, you already understand this story. By 10:11 p.m., my mom leaned toward me again. "You know," she said softly, but not soft enough, "renting at your age just isn't smart." That's when it clicked. This wasn't celebration. It was positioning. Because 4 days earlier, December 18th, my sister's mortgage documents had been submitted, and that $80,000, it wasn't listed as a loan. It was declared a non-repayable gift, signed under my name. Except I never signed it. I didn't confront them at the table. I didn't argue over pie. I let her finish, because in 48 hours, I had a meeting scheduled, and I don't do emotional reactions. I do documentation. At 11:58 p.m., I left Christmas dinner early. No scene, no sarcasm. Just a polite hug and a calm, "Drive safe." My mom kissed my cheek and whispered, "Next year maybe we'll celebrate your house." I smiled, because next year, we wouldn't be celebrating in theirs. December 27th, 9 a.m. sharp. Daniel, my CPA, adjusted his glasses and slid the mortgage filing across the desk toward me. "You see this?" he asked calmly. Line 14. Gift declaration. $80,000. Source: family support. Repayment required? No. Then he rotated the page slightly. Borrower A signature. Borrower B signature. Gift provider signature. Mine. Except it wasn't. At first glance, it was close. Close enough that a loan officer wouldn't question it. But Daniel noticed it immediately. "You loop your L's left," he said. "This one curves right." He flipped to my driver's license copy, then to my 2024 tax return, then to a wire authorization form I signed last year. Every L curved left. The one on the mortgage curved right. And it was time-stamped, 6:11 a.m., December 18th. I was mid-flight from Seattle to Denver at 6:11 a.m. No Wi-Fi purchase. No DocuSign notification. No consent. Just a forged compliance signature on a federally backed loan. Daniel leaned back. "This isn't a misunderstanding," he said. "It's structured misrepresentation." There's something about hearing betrayal described in professional language that makes it colder, cleaner, more real. Step 1. They needed a stronger down payment to secure approval. Step 2. They had my previous transfers on record. Step 3. They categorized them as a gift instead of debt. Step 4. They signed for me. Step 5. Christmas dinner narrative control. It wasn't mockery, it was insulation. If I objected later, I would look bitter, jealous, small. They were building social proof before I even saw the paperwork. Calculated. Daniel didn't raise his voice. He didn't look shocked. He just asked one question. "Do you want your money back, or do you want accountability?" That's when I realized something. Those are not the same goal. If I demanded repayment emotionally, they'd spin it as family conflict. If I addressed the documentation legally, the lender would have to respond. "Walk me through options," I said. He nodded. Option 1. Informal repayment agreement. Risky. Unenforceable without leverage. Option 2. Notify the lender of signature discrepancy. Triggers internal compliance review. Option 3. File formal fraud claim. I didn't need drama. I needed structure. "Start with the lender," I said. That afternoon at 2:47 p.m., an email was sent. Subject line: Signature discrepancy. Gift declaration review. Attachments: my ID, 3 verified signatures, flight receipt December 18th, time-stamped boarding pass, wire confirmations labeled loan in text messages. Professional, neutral, precise, no emotion. By 6:13 p.m., I received an automated response confirming receipt. By 8:02 p.m., my sister texted me. "Did you contact our lender?" Interesting choice of word. Hour. I didn't answer. December 28th. My mom posted on Facebook. "Some people can't just be happy for others. Sad." 36 comments. Amen. Family comes first. Jealousy is ugly. My phone started vibrating like I owed the entire bloodline an explanation. I didn't defend myself online. Truth doesn't argue in comment sections. It waits for documentation. December 29th, 11:34 a.m. The lender responded. They requested a verification call. Not with my sister, with me. And here's the part they didn't anticipate. Mortgage fraud departments don't care about Christmas dinner dynamics. They care about compliance. The woman on the phone introduced herself calmly. "Did you sign the gift declaration for $80,000? "No," I said. Silence. Not dramatic, professional, measured. "Can you confirm you were not present for the signing on December 18th at 6:11 a.m.? I was on a United flight, boarding group 3. Keyboard typing. Pause. "Thank you. We will escalate this internally. Escalate. That word travels differently than gossip. At 3:09 p.m., the family group chat went quiet. No Zillow screenshots, no emojis, no kitchen photos. By 5:22 p.m., my sister called. I let it ring, then a voicemail. You didn't have to go that far. That sentence always fascinates me. Not, we shouldn't have done that. Not, we're sorry. Just, you went too far. As if correction is aggression. By December 30th, their lender had paused the refinance adjustment they were planning. Insurance flagged documentation review. Their rate lock expiration date? January 12th. Ticking. 48 hours after Christmas, my silence had turned into process. And process doesn't shout. It counts. January 2nd. Daniel sent one final email. Subject: Formal mediation proposal. Neutral location. Document exchange required. All parties present. January 4th, 10 a.m. Conference room reserved. I wasn't going to argue in a dining room again. This time there would be rules and printed copies. January 4th, 9:58 a.m. Neutral office space. Glass walls. Long oak table. No holiday decorations. No witnesses who owed anyone emotional loyalty. Daniel sat to my right. My sister arrived first. Mascara slightly heavier than usual. Jaw tight. My mom walked in at 10:02 a.m., already defensive. This is unnecessary, she said before sitting down. Daniel didn't respond. He simply placed 3 folders on the table. Identical. Labeled. Transfer history, $80,000. Mortgage filing, signature discrepancy. Timeline documentation. Ground rules were printed on the first page. No interruptions. Documents only. One speaker at a time. Meeting recorded. My mom scoffed at that last line. I pressed record anyway. I didn't start with the signature. I started with the number. $80,000, I said calmly. Silence. Not shocked silence. Measured silence. I slid the spreadsheet across the table, line by line. December 2019, $12,000. March 2020, $8,500. August 2021, $15,000. January 2023, $10,000. September 2024, $20,500. Missed transfers, $14,000. Total, $80,000. These were loans, I said. Documented in text, promised repayment after closing. My sister inhaled sharply. We always said thank you. I'm not discussing gratitude, I replied. I'm discussing classification. Daniel slid the second folder forward. Mortgage gift declaration. Signature. Timestamp 6:11 a.m., December 18th. I did not sign this, I said evenly. My mom leaned forward. It was easier that way. The lender just needed... Daniel raised a hand. Please let her finish. I continued. I was on a flight at 6:11 a.m., boarding group 3. I have documentation. I placed the boarding pass on top of the file. 7 seconds passed. I counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No one reached for the paper. My sister's voice was smaller now. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. That's interesting, I said, because the filing states non-repayable gift. It's just paperwork, my mom snapped. Daniel finally spoke. It's federal paperwork. That changed the temperature of the room. I played the voicemail from December 19th. My mom's voice filled the conference room. Just mark it as a gift. It'll be easier. She had known I saved it. The silence afterward wasn't emotional. It was structural, because now there was evidence. "I'm not filing a criminal complaint," I said calmly. Both of them looked up quickly. Relief moved across their faces too fast. "But I am setting conditions." I slid a final sheet forward. Repayment plan proposal. $80,000 principal. 3% interest, below market. 60-day refinance correction. Formal written acknowledgement of misclassification. "If this is not executed within 60 days," I continued, "I will formally dispute the mortgage with full documentation." My sister swallowed. "You would ruin us over money?" I met her eyes. "No. I would correct documentation over accountability. There's a difference." My mom's final attempt was predictable. "Family doesn't do this to each other." I stood. "Family doesn't forge each other's signatures." No raised voice, no shaking hands, just facts. "I didn't burn the bridge," I said, gathering my folders. "I stopped being the bridge." And I walked out at 10:41 a.m. By January 12th, their rate lock expired. By January 18th, the lender required amended disclosures. By January 24th, their refinance was denied pending review. Insurance sent a compliance inquiry. Their lawyer withdrew from representation quietly. On February 3rd, the house was listed again. Reduced price. My sister texted me at 11:16 p.m. "You didn't have to humiliate us." I stared at that sentence for a long time. Humiliation is loud. Documentation is quiet. My mom hasn't apologized, but she hasn't asked about my rent either. The property I rent? Owned through an LLC, purchased below market value, all cash. I didn't say that at Christmas. I didn't need to. Because some people measure success in granite countertops. I measure it in leverage. So I want to ask you something. If your generosity was rewritten as someone else's achievement, would you stay silent to keep peace? Or would you bring the truth into the right room? Comment your city and local time. And if you understand that silence can be strategy, subscribe. Next time, I'll tell you what happened when my aunt tried to access the trust. Because apparently, I'm not the only one who read the paperwork.